За дезинформациите и за лажните вести кои се шират во светот преку медиумите, социјалните мрежи и други платформи за комуникација, како и оние што ги шират поединци и разни интересни групи, посебно во зголемен обем после руската инвазија врз Украина, и какви се нивните импликации врз државите, граѓаните, разговараме со литванскиот експерт, доктор Нериус Малиукевичиус, чија земја Литванија е една од најзасегнатите од овој глобален проблем. Нашиот денешен соговорник во понеделник ќе допатува во Скопје, каде ќе одржи работилница за градење на граѓанска и медиумска отпорност кон штетни надворешни влијанија и дезинформации. Гостувањето на реномираниот литвански експерт го овозможи делегацијата на Европската Унија во соработка со канцеларијата на амбасадата на Република Литванија во Скопје. Dr. Nereus, it is very difficult to pronounce your name on English. So, Dr. Nereus, what are the main challenges for Lithuania concerning disinformation during the 2-year period of waging war in Ukraine, the Russian aggression in Ukraine?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me for this talk. Your pronunciation of my name is very good, no problems with that. With our experience with Russian disinformation, I would probably stress that we are faced with this barrage of disinformation, not just in those recent years after the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. We are living with this neighbor constantly, and with his hybrid warfare, information operations experience constantly. So therefore, we are feeling in a kind of information front lines, and we are experiencing maybe just an evolution of this different strategies. So we are witnessing how Russia is gradually transforming information operations from traditional media into new type of medias. So basically more and more social networks, social network apps are being used in aggressive operations, specifically as related to Russian aggression in Ukraine. They are trying to incite in Lithuania basically negative attitudes towards Ukrainians that found shelter in Lithuania. They are trying to basically play a card of economic burden that Lithuania needs to pay for Ukraine to be victorious. But I would maybe stress that in Lithuania, the support for Ukraine's resistance is enormously high. And in this respect, it is a difficult information field for Kremlin to really manipulate this kind of public opinion. What I am more concerned about is the electoral cycle that we will have in Lithuania. We will have 3 elections, basically, which is European Parliament elections, Lithuanian parliamentary elections, and presidential elections. And this will become the focus of the information operations. So this is probably the biggest challenge for this year from our concern.
So, and how Lithuanian state authorities, media, and NGOs cope with disinformation and fake news, and what are the implications on the citizens, on their everyday life? Is there any panic, uncertainty in the everyday living in Lithuania?
No, to take this from extreme, there is no panic. Definitely, Kremlin would like to play this card of fears and panic, but Lithuanian society is quite mobilized. I would say this is the result of our approach towards tackling disinformation. All actors in civil society and institutions play their role in tackling Russian information operations. And this is probably the most important lesson to be taken from our experience, is that civic society has to play its role. Civic NGOs basically do a very important work of debunking, monitoring the disinformation campaigns, and so on. Media is an enormously important filter that basically, kind of a defense information ecosystem from fake news and disinformation and misinformation. So the competences that journalists have are very important when they try to really check sources, report on events, and so on, and neutralize all those disinformation campaigns in the media environment. I think another very important layer in this whole of society approach is institutional capabilities and institutional coordination of strategic communication competences. But basically, in Lithuania, in the recent years, we've established a national crisis management center under Lithuanian government that coordinates all activities of different institutions that tackle this information. So this is a very important aspect where there is a governmental coordination of those activities.
Can you tell me, are there any implications from this, from Russia and their sources of disinformation on the global security and stability, on the global level?
Yeah, I definitely see Kremlin investing enormous amount of money, effort, and resources to use those malign influence operations, propaganda and disinformation, to have an effect generally in the West and more even globally. In the case of Russian aggression in Ukraine, one of the main targets that Kremlin has is Western support of Ukraine, militarily, economically. And with all means available, Kremlin is trying to degrade this will to support Ukraine. They are using all different political proxies. They are using different cycles of elections in different countries to basically spin the narrative that this is a lost cause for Ukraine. You don't need to pay money. You lose money instead of investing, inside your own countries, and the narrative goes on. And this is one of the main, probably, targets that the Kremlin is doing.
But to demotivate to demotivate the people, the citizens.
Exactly, and to find political allies inside the different countries that support this agenda. But to add on top of that, I see the problem even more global. It's not just Russia and Kremlin. It's basically authoritarian alliance of different regimes. It's China as well. It's other authoritarian leaders that are tempted to use this kind of a toolbox to achieve their goals. So if we become more efficient in fighting off Russian and Kremlin's disinformation, at the same time, we become more efficient in fighting any kind of authoritarian influence operations. And even on top of that, not just political manipulation, but manipulation of financial type, or based on health disinformation, and so on. So our immunity builds together with our experiences. So this is a very important lesson.
So, if in this war with disinformation, can we see the winner or the victor of this battle with disinformation?
Excellent question. And I would be even probably provocative with my answer. There was a winner during Cold War times between West and East, between United States and Soviet Union in this big ideological battle. And Soviet Union lost this ideological fight, propaganda fight, and I think we are in a similar situation where democracies are targeted by authoritarian leaders, and democracies have to fight back with their narrative, with their resilience towards such kind of malign influence operations. And we cannot win a fight if we do not take a stand in this. So from democracies, a stand would be to be more effective, more proactive on their strategic communication. This is an important lesson.
You will be a guest in Skopje. You will have in Skopje a workshop about disinformation. So what kind of recommendation will you say about Macedonia and how our citizens can resist disinformation and fake news? And what can we do in Macedonia?
Well, first of all, I'm coming to Northern Macedonia not just to teach and preach. I'm coming to you to learn as well. And as I know, you have a very important experiences in, tackling disinformation already. As I know, you have an important initiatives with media literacy in your schools and so on. So I'm looking into this as a kind of a collaboration. I will be sharing our Lithuanian experience, and I will be glad to hear about your experiences in fighting disinformation. And this is probably the main message I have. We can fight off Russian or Chinese disinformation networks just by, our own cooperation, our own ability to create alliances in this fight. Because if we are alone, we probably will lose. But if we are together, fortifying our democracies, fortifying our electoral processes, then we are meant to win. From Lithuanian experience, I will be sharing our whole of society approach towards tackling disinformation. I will tell you how our civic organizations are engaged in this media literacy initiatives and so on. So I hope we can share between each other our lessons learned.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maliukevicius, and I'm looking forward to see you in Skopje. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm looking forward as well. Thank you.